What is up everyone, my name's Al from GamesRep. Thanks for joining me again. Obviously make sure to like, comment and subscribe, but let's crack on with the show. That's right, today we're going to be talking about Final Assault. That's right, Final Assault is it's an 8-bit Atari game that has, to be fair, been a long time in development or I should say, a game that's been a long time in the progress of being ported to the Atari 8-bit, but now, that's right, it's available to play on the Sega Dreamcast, thanks to Ian Micheal. This is an interesting one. You know, it's quite nice to see these sort of titles come to the Sega Dreamcast, because they don't always, and you've got to be, you know, and that really just shows how awesome the Sega Dreamcast is, because there's more and more and more coming. Anyway, Final Assault, that's right, it's an FPS, yeah, it's a little bit blocky, yeah, but you got to, you know, at the end of the day, you got to kind of admire the fact that this was on the Atari XL. So let's face it, it's awesome. So let's take a look. Yeah, I gotta admit, most of you are probably thinking, why the hell is he talking about a game that was on the Atari or come to the Atari XL now on the Sega Dreamcast? Well, this just shows the power of the Dreamcast and what its, you know, its potential really is. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and let's just take a look at the intro. Now, before we get going with this, if you're going to give this a try, do not press the start button. If you press the start button, the game essentially will boot you out, as you're about to see, and yeah, you won't be able to go any further. So make sure to... I can't remember what I ended up pressing. I'm not actually sure. I think it ended up being B a few times, and then eventually the game starts. So, obviously, if you're going to play this, make sure to not press start, because it will crash the emulation. Now, the actual emulator we're using here is the Atari 800XL emulator for the Dreamcast by Groessler. Now, obviously, I've got all this information from Ian Micheal, obviously pretty big dev, obviously, in the Dreamcast community. And, yeah, he's done an update on the emulator to kind of just make it run that much better, and also to show his fast boot method. Now, as you can see, works absolutely fantastic. Now, the FPS was actually created by GMD, and you can't deny it's pretty damn ambitious. Because titles like this, you know, especially on the Atari XL, you just don't kind of see this. Now, this obviously opens the door for things like Doom to come to the system. Obviously, this is essentially, well, I don't know if I even want to really call it a Doom clone. I mean, you can't really call every FPS that comes out as a clone being a Doom clone, but yeah, I suppose, you know, Doom being the father of FPS, then yeah, I kind of get it. But this is original. Now, the thing I did kind of get a little bit lost with is the fact that all the textures are very, very similar. Apart from your ammo packs, which are this sort of orange colour, then green is for your health, which you will need, let me tell you, because this game is not easy. But as you can see, the layout here looks absolutely fantastic. You got your inventory on the bottom there, although the way I had to do this was bring up the keyboard, on-screen keyboard, and then press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did have to do that. There was no other way that I could see that you could do this. But, you know, tiny things like this, does it really matter? No, I'd probably say it doesn't. Now, the other thing you're probably looking at is the fact that the textures, yeah, it's all very different shades of blue. Now, obviously, they have sort of... There is a big distinction between doors. Doors are obviously the things with the little arrows going up that you'll see shortly. But to be fair, at first, I was pretty lost because of the fact that the textures are very, very all mixed into one. But you can't really knock it, because let's face it, this is working essentially on an Atari XL. I mean, what do we really expect? This in itself is quite a feat. Now, one thing I'll obviously mention is that you obviously do get your 5 weapons. There are 11 items here as well, so obviously your health packs, etc. And there is actually a boss. Now, obviously I never got to the boss because, let me tell you, I died one hell of a lot. But hey, you know, when you're testing these games, unfortunately, that will happen. But yeah, the game is a bit of a maze. Now, there is also a map function here as well, which is great. And also, as you can see, kind of got that the compass functionality at the bottom there as well. So if you're starting to get lost and you're good at using a compass, maybe this will help you, maybe it won't, but it does kind of define where things are, which, yeah, does help. Controls are pretty standard, up, down, left, right. There's no strafing here, or not that I could notice, and also you've obviously got your action buttons. But apart from that, when I say action buttons, I mean action button. That really is it. And like I said, you have to bring up the on-screen keyboard to then change your weaponry, which, you know, let's face it, you will need to do at some point. Now, I have also been advised, not that I've actually noticed, is there are actually walls you can break down, which, again, you can't deny is pretty fantastic. Destructible, you know, walls and stuff. I mean, Christ, you didn't even see that in Call of Duty. And to be fair, I don't even think is that even a thing in Call of Duty now? I mean, yeah, okay, Battlefield really is the one for the destructible, you know, environments. But anyway, I'm getting way too futuristic there with the tech. But yeah, now, there is destructible elements here, aka walls. Now that is really, really cool. Like I said, the main issue you're going to have is that you probably will get a bit lost. You know, the hit detection is actually pretty good. You have got the crosshair there for that as well, which is, you know, is great, and you will absolutely, you know, need to use that crosshair because, you know, if you're not too perfect, you will miss the enemy. But, you know, again, more than anything, you're just going to find this a hard game. Now, obviously, with any FPS, what's my favourite gun? Yes, that's right, it's the double-barreled shotgun. It's the coolest here. It's got a nice little sound to it. Yeah, don't get me wrong though, the rocket launcher is cool as well, but it is slow to fire. So, you know, yeah, if you want to use it, it is fun, but make sure you aim well ahead, because if you don't, you will 110% miss your target. So that's a shame, but it is that damn slow, because let's face it, if a rocket launcher was that slow, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that it would miss a target. Other thing, yeah, there's things like barrels around here. You know, they really have gone to town here with the detail. Like I said, does this mean maybe we'll see a Doom clone come to this system? Well, who knows? Hope you like this nice little look at Final Assault running on the Sega Dreamcast. That's right, like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you soon. You can now support the channel on patreon.com/gamesrip, as well as remember to like, comment and subscribe.